Enemy deserve no mercy.
Welcome to the Three Retro Movie Geeks podcast with me, your host, Rob, the Truffle Shuffle Taylor.
First you gotta do the truffle shuffle.
And me, Paul, Save Clock Tower Constable.
Save the clock tower.
And Scott, I ain't got time to bleed with him.
I ain't got time to bleed.
And we will be discussing movies from the 80s and the 90s.
With some absolute classics and some not so well known classics.
From the greatest cinema era ever.
Miyagi discovered the man within the boy.
Never put passion before principle. Even if win, you lose.
Now Daniel must discover the man within himself.
In Okinawa, honor very serious.
Your sensei teach you how to fight with spear?
No more tournaments. No more cheering crowds. This time, the combat is real. Karate Kid, Part 2.
Konnichiwa, daisandu kyu ayokoso ko waibusu to Kido Des. Hello and welcome to episode 39. This is Karate Kid 2.
Whee!
Bilingual, hey? That was good, wasn't it?
What happened to Karate Kid 1?
We've done that one. You weren't here, was you?
Where was I?
You, I don't know.
Okinawa?
Yeah, that was it. That's where you were.
I was on my holiday.
Joining me in this one is an old karate master. It's Paul, chosen constable. Hello, Paul.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Standing in for Scott is his young apprentice. It's Wayne Drum Technique Thrussell.
Thank you very much for having me back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. We did Karate Kid 1 a few months back now, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to deal with the fame. I can imagine it's a bit like Taylor Swift.
Yes, yeah.
Can't go places.
What was life like after you appeared on this? Was it?
Yeah, I can't go anywhere now.
No, yeah, it's changed your life, yeah.
Yeah, get recognised everywhere I go.
Yeah, that is the one problem.
Challenge.
The one problem you come with us, yeah. Yeah, so
That's why I don't say much. People don't recognise me or recognise the voice.
Yeah, so cool. So we are doing Karate Kid 2. Before we go into Karate Kid 2, though, we haven't got Scott. Scott is doing his Judith Chalmers impression. He's on holiday.
Nice.
He has been texting us, though, hasn't he, Paul? And he's been watching some 80s films.
I've heard more from Scott this last week than I have done in the last 2 years.
That's because his work head's not on. He's just chilling watching 80s films.
I thought it must have been raining.
Labyrinth, he said he's been watching.
Nice.
Ferris Bueller. What else did he say?
Yeah, now what was the comment you put in the thing about Ferris Bueller?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. He's a bit annoying as well.
I don't remember much. I remember watching it once
Seriously?
or twice.
Probably if I'd have been younger, I'd have liked it. But watching it now,
Is that because you preferred the one? Because after we recorded the last podcast, I showed you an alternative version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which
your
I
version,
made when I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
So did you not enjoy the original Ferris Bueller's Day Off because you enjoyed my version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
No.
And it just didn't work for you?
No. Just both of them I thought were pretty poor. To be honest.
But which one's your best?
Your one, of course, Paul.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your one, of course. Right, what have we been watching the last few weeks? Anything exciting?
Diddly squat.
Diddly squat.
No, I haven't watched any movie whatsoever.
Right, but you've gone through Clarkson's Farm.
Nope.
Oh. Diddly squat as in you've not watched anything?
I haven't watched anything.
Oh, I thought you meant
I thought
you meant Clarkson's Farm.
Oh, no, not watched anything. Just haven't had the time.
What, you finished work at 4?
Yeah, but so I was busy. I've been back in the gym again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, nothing
No,
really.
okay.
I've been listening to movie soundtracks.
Okay, which ones? No.
So I've been listening to a bit of John Williams.
Right.
And don't take the piss on this one. Interstellar.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't got to the end of the
Yeah,
film.
it takes
got
you a
to
long
about
time
like
to get
last
through
half hour
films.
and, yeah.
You started watching that about a year ago.
Yeah.
Wayne, you've been watching anything exciting?
Watching lots of TV series at the moment on Netflix. So I went back through Cobra Kai again. I seem to go back through the same TV series a lot. Just to rewatch it. Started Reacher. So just on the end of the first series of Reacher.
Yeah, Scott's watched that. You mentioned that. Yeah,
But
don't know that,
it's
yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure if I'm bought into it yet.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like things to pick up quite fast.
Yeah, I've not seen
And
that.
then I was going to go to the cinema and hopefully to watch Karate Kid Legends, but the children had other plans. They're good at that.
Yeah, we were supposed
Yeah.
to have gone to the cinema to watch that, but then I booked the tickets. Neil kicked up a stink because he wanted to watch the Champions League final.
Okay.
Cancelled it. Obviously, managed to get my money back.
Yeah.
And then I think he watched half hour of the Champions League final and then went back on his game. I was like, cheers.
Yeah.
Kids, eh?
They're
Bloody
a
kids.
good way at making it a little bit more challenging for you. I did watch On Deadly Ground with Steven Seagal
Okay.
the other week, which I haven't seen for such a long
Right.
time, and I forgot how good that one is.
You like him, don't you?
Yeah, I do like. There's something about him
Yeah.
and that particular movie where he's just depicted as he always seems to have a bit of a background that you're allowed to know some of the information, but the rest is classified.
Yeah.
And of course, he ends up working as an environmental
Right.
safety manager. But that's a good movie.
What's your Steven Seagal movie? Under Siege is for me, the first one.
Yeah, Under Siege. That's probably it. When I think, even though he seems like a massive name, I can never name more than like 3 or 4
You're right. Yeah.
movies that he's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely anything Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Did you see Steven Seagal in that Travels with My Father on Netflix?
No, is it worth watching?
Well, that program is. But I thought Steven Seagal. Are you a big fan of his?
Well, he was. I wouldn't say I'm as much now.
Okay, I thought he was a bit of a knob.
Yeah,
But,
I've heard that, and that's probably why I've gone off him a bit.
I mean, I don't know whether his scene when he was in the movie, he kind of played up, and that was I won't say too much, but no, Travels with My Father, fantastic series. If you haven't seen on Netflix, it's fucking brilliant.
I'll have a look. He wasn't like some of these. He wasn't necessarily a fantastic actor.
No,
But it was right place, right time, right build.
I think a lot of those sort of people who are in those sort of films aren't the best
No,
actors.
don't need to be as well, do they?
I don't know.
Yeah, talking to Netflix, I watched the Titan documentary. I don't know if you've seen that yet, about the sub that went down.
Yeah.
That's just
I
come
haven't
out.
seen it yet.
No, we want to watch that.
That was good. That's interesting.
We have been watching.
Scary.
Oh God, forgotten. Getting old. Survivor.
Don't know.
We might have to re-edit this bit. I can't remember the name of the fucking program now. Hang on. Let me just jiggle this bit
I am
around.
interested in the Titan
Yeah,
thing,
it's
like,
good. Oh, it's
The
like
depth and the
it's mental when you watch it. I think.
Yeah.
Well, so I watched Straight Outta Compton. I watched the other day.
yeah.
That was cool about NWA.
I would like to see that actually.
And
It's on my list.
yesterday I watched Fatal Attraction.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, that's a I don't know. She's Glenn Close in that. She's scary. Bit of a stalker, obviously. Talking of stalkers, I don't know if you know, but I've got a stalker. But I don't know if you can tell with these shorts. Hey, high five out of the way.
Yeah,
Seriously, don't.
I've missed some of this. Yeah.
No, don't encourage him, please.
What I have been listening to recently is Absolute 80s, and they have been doing 100 greatest 80 movie songs.
Wow. Okay.
So I thought this would be something good to talk to. Now, I won't go through the whole 100 because we'd be here all day, but I've got the list of the top 10. And I'll read out 10 to 4, then you can guess the top 3, okay?
Okay.
So top 100 80s movie songs as voted by Absolute Radio 80s. 10th place was Ghostbusters.
What, Ray Parker Jr.
Ray Parker Jr., yep. 9th position, Together in Electric Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the film Electric Dreams.
But I still wouldn't have put. I would have put Ghostbusters in front of that.
Yeah. 8th was Man in Motion, St Elmo's Fire. John Parr. 7th, Cry Little Sister from Lost Boys.
Okay.
That's cool.
Still would have put Ghostbusters higher up.
Yeah.
6th place, this is starting to get more exciting. Eye of a Tiger, Rocky 3.
Yeah. I would have put that a bit higher. Okay. I had that one on my list.
5th place was Take My Breath Away, Top Gun,
Yeah.
Berlin. 4th place, I've Had the Time of My Life, Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
And the top 3 then, what do you reckon top 3?
So this is 80s film.
80s films, yeah.
But we haven't.
It's tricky, isn't it?
No, in the top 3, I'm going to put Huey Lewis in the News.
It's a good shout.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
that's got to be in the top 3. If
Yeah.
it's not, this list is bullshit.
It was number 2, Power of Love.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going to be number 1?
So that was number 2. So number 3 was Danger Zone, Top Gun,
Oh yeah. Hang on.
Kenny Loggins. Number 1.
Let's have 60 seconds to have a little brainstorm, but you can edit this bit
Okay.
out. So it's,
I'll do a few moments later.
60 seconds.
yeah.
Yeah. Go on then, have a think then.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're back. Okay, so your guess for the number 1 80s movie song, Paul?
I can't remember the name. It's the one from Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
The Time of My Life.
No, we said that.
Did we?
That was number 4.
I must have fell asleep.
I'll give you a clue. It was the end credits of a film.
Oh, okay.
End credits.
1985.
1985. Hang on.
Oh, he's going to his book.
Okay.
Shit, where's my book gone?
Okay,
I might need some help on this.
we're
as
just
well, then.
we're just pads.
Yeah.
I don't know where my book's gone.
Well, don't worry. It's not worth it. I'll just tell you.
Yeah, I bet it's I bet after all this effort, it's a shit film.
Right. It's about detention. Saturday morning. I think it was Saturday morning.
Oh,
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Don't you forget about me.
Won't you forget about me?
Good song.
yeah, great tune.
Right. Do you want to play a game?
I thought we just were. Guess the film.
Yeah, another game. I'm full of games today. We've done Guess the Film. We've done Guess
Okay.
the Actor. Today we're doing Guess the Character.
Guess the character.
Guess the character. Think of a theme tune for this one.
Guess
Guess the character.
Guess the
Guess the character. Guess the character.
Right, okay. We're playing Guess the Character, funny enough.
Okay.
Do you want points to add onto your quiz?
Well, let's see who wins it first,
Yeah,
shall we?
we'll decide. If I win, then we'll add them on.
No, I'm in the quiz. I'm against the Karate Kid Guru. I've already said I've only seen it really sort of 2 or 3 times, and even then, not
Yeah,
fully.
so Wayne's our Karate Kid.
So
Yeah.
this might be my only points.
Now it's pressure on me as well.
Yeah,
though,
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for 5 points, then.
Hang on, I've just got to get in the zone.
5 clues.
The
Right.
thinking zone, not
Yeah,
playing zone.
I've got my pen.
You do that
here.
praying thing.
I've got nothing to write on, but I've got a pen, so it makes it more important.
Hang on.
Hold on, he's gone.
He's off again.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
monkey
in the
jump.
zone.
Right, okay. 5 points.
Okay.
I am 17 years old and I have a brother. I think he's 7. Some say 16, some say 17.
Oh, so
But it's mainly 17. Different
Okay.
sources. 17-year-old, he has a brother. I'll keep going. 4 points. I'm quite tall, muscular, brown hair. Sometimes wear a bandana. Guess the character.
No, I've gone completely.
I'll
off
keep
what I was
going.
thinking.
For 3 points,
Yeah.
I need to mow 376 lawns to afford my new bike.
Oh no, wrong film.
2 points. I'm a reluctant member of my brother's gang.
Who wants a new bike?
Yeah.
That's what they say in the film. He has to mow so many lawns to get a new bike. My brother, for 1 point, my brother is called Mikey.
That's Goonies.
Goonies.
Yes, Goonies, yeah.
They got
You
what's the character?
it's Brand.
Brand.
You both got it sort of similar time, but it was 1
I was
point.
thinking
So
towards Lost Boys. I was just wondering if there was a piece in that.
Yeah.
But no.
Brand from the Goonies.
It is.
There we go.
I'm going to try and I work for a company and they're based in Portland,
Right.
and it's about 2 hours from Astoria.
Ah, okay.
So I'm going out there in
Nice.
Cool.
August, and I'm going to try and get a day where I can get down to Astoria. And I messaged the guy away
Nice.
into the old Goonies house.
Yeah. Brilliant.
He's on TikTok.
Yep.
Spencer something, and he's absolutely obsessed with Goonies.
That's it,
And
yeah.
You can go and visit it as long as you do the truffle shuffle outside.
Yes, yeah. So
So
one of
Yeah,
our
so-
listeners goes.
so
She
I've
got
seen that.
engaged there.
Did she?
Yeah, Kim, who listens to us, and she got engaged at the Goonies house. But you
Awesome.
can also do Short Circuit House.
Yep.
You can do. Isn't Stand By Me near there as well, where they filmed the bridge?
There's quite a lot there. When the whole town has like a weekly,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
weekly, a week of the year where they just celebrate movies.
Well, this
Because
week,
the prison's there and
That's
stuff
it.
like that.
Yeah.
so there's a YouTuber who I watch, have done for years, called Adam the Woo. He probably doesn't listen to any of our podcasts. But
Shame on him.
Yeah.
But
What a
this
loser.
week was the 40th anniversary of the Goonies,
Right.
and him and a few of his buddies have gone to the Goonie house. Now, I thought originally it was a private house, but I get the impression from Adam the Woo's videos this week that the house has been bought by a Goonies fan,
Yeah.
and it's been remodeled to look like inside the original house, and it's done exactly. I haven't seen the footage inside,
Yeah.
but they've remodeled it and it looks exactly the way it did. And even in the yard, it now looks how it did in the movie. Now, part of Adam Woo's vlog this week, he went to the Goonie house. They're doing a documentary on it, which is coming out next year.
Yeah. Well, it's 40 years, isn't it?
40th anniversary.
anniversary.
So
They-
it looks really good.
some of the
but
cast were there.
But part of some of the cast were there. I think Annie was there. Corey Feldman was there.
Nice.
So yeah, that's something to look forward to. But yeah, if you like the Goonies, watch Adam the Woo's videos. And also this week, 'cause he's been down in that town, Astoria, not Astoria, what's it?
Astoria.
It's a story.
Yeah.
He's been there all week, so he's been to the Short Circuit House this week.
Yeah.
And going, so yeah, catch Adam the Woo's vlogs this week on YouTube.
Was the guy who's got a brother called Mike who's 17 years old and wears a bandana there? Brand.
No.
I'll listen to his YouTube and you can listen to his podcast.
Yeah. Right, Karate Kid 2.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about this then. Basically, this kind of the main characters are back for this.
Yep.
Daniel and Mr. Miyagi, of course. No Elizabeth Shue. What was the reason? I read she had a bad experience in the first one.
I think I've heard a couple of different things. I've heard, first of all, I don't know what she had done recently, but what they wanted was a small part.
Right.
And I don't think it justified the price.
Yeah.
And then the second part is when she read the script, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on. There's some bits that she wasn't very happy with.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so she's not in it. No William Zabka, who's obviously my favourite from Karate Kid 1, the real Karate Kid.
He's cool, isn't he?
He is the Karate Kid.
Yeah, he's cool. we got a new love interest.
Yeah.
Kamiko, which is Tamlin Tomita.
Yeah.
Born in Okinawa.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I read that. She was a student at UCLA, I believe.
Yeah.
Studying, I want to say, history. And just first part.
Now, Elizabeth Shue's character, she cheated on Daniel with someone from UCLA as well, didn't she? So
she did.
Tied in nicely.
We'll get onto that. There's a lot of controversy about this, the movie in its whole.
Yeah. 1986, this is 2 years after Karate Kid 1. Mm-hmm. It cost 12.5 million and it took 130 million at the box office. Exactly the same amount as Karate Kid 1. That took 130 million as well.
Nice.
This is interesting. Filmed in Hawaii.
Yep, saw that.
Not Okinawa.
I read that, and obviously you got some bit. When they went to Okinawa, because of all the storms and the weather, it wasn't what they wanted to visualise Okinawa as.
Right. Okay.
It was just leftover pillboxes and desert land, as you'd call it, and they decided then to go to Hawaii, which would have been nicer and easier if you were a US
of course.
team shooting.
Yeah. I looked this up. In Cobra Kai, they visit Miyagi's grave, don't they?
Yeah.
And I looked this up, and he was born 1925 and died 2011.
Yeah.
So it makes him about 61 in this film. And he said he left 45 years ago. So he's about 15 when he left Okinawa.
Yeah.
So a really boring fact there, but I thought that was quite...
No, and when you think of the backstory and the fighting, and he was in Vietnam War, he was a war hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very young.
When we get to it a bit later on, but you know the storm, we'll go through it obviously like we always do, but the bell ringer, do you know she was in Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realise this, so I'm up to that part in Cobra Kai.
When they go back to Tommy Village / Biscuit
Village.
That's
it, yeah. So the young girl who rings the bell when there's a storm is, she's called Yuna, which I don't mention her name in the film, but she does come back in Cobra Kai. So there's a tiny little part in the film, they managed to get her back.
I think
in Cobra Kai.
Obviously, it's not about Cobra Kai, but I'm really pleased on how they managed to transition all the story tie-ups.
Yeah,
get all the actors back.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And created what I think is one of the best, not best, entertaining TV series at the moment.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I did like Cobra Kai. I mean, I think the success of it has brought some of the other ones back. I mean, don't want to use the terminology, jumped on the bandwagon, but I think by what are we now, series 6, 7. In fact, like let's say Elizabeth Shue's come back. You know, she's like, you know, if it was, she wouldn't have come back probably season 1 or 2 because it wasn't big enough.
Yeah, it's
And obviously they've gone on and made Karate Kid Legends as well, which probably again on the back of the success.
It's obviously doing well, isn't it? Because as you say, new things keep coming out.
Well, I think it's called is it the Miyagi verse or something like
right,
this?
Okay.
And the idea is that they want to expand it now. They're looking at. I said they'll probably end up with a Netflix cooking show in the next few weeks.
Well, there's Karate Kid 1, 2, 3. Was there a 4? I think.
Well, there was a 4th.
Yeah.
There's only really 2 for me.
But
I think
it had Miyagi
2.
and I can't think of the woman's name now.
No,
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. Yeah, she's in it. So Daniel's obviously not in it. I don't know why he wasn't in. He probably.
So what was it called? Still called the Karate Kid 4? Was it?
No, I don't think it was Karate Kid 4.
I never really remember 3.
And then they bought Karate. Didn't
the next Karate Kid.
Next
Karate, and then obviously you had the other one, which has got.
Jaden,
annoying
Jaden.
I can't watch that.
Yeah,
no,
because it was advertised as a like a remake rather than
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's
Jaden
bullshit.
Smith.
Yeah, 1 and 2 for me. But even 2, when he was doing this film, all I can remember from 2 in my mind was the ice scene,
Yep.
the nice looking girl, and I always thought, as we said this in Karate Kid 1, that scene at the start when he punches through the car windscreen, I always thought that was the end of 1. Now I realise why I thought that, because it's the start of 2.
It brings
the recap.
So, brings the story together. Yeah, it's
I like Karate Kid 3. I've seen that one quite a few times. I've seen that more than Karate Kid 2. Karate Kid 2, I don't know, it just didn't work necessarily for me. I might get into trouble with you now.
No.
It just didn't seem to flow. You had the recap at the beginning, the first 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I found that entertaining. You thought it was going to be a sequel. And I suppose it kind of is, because it then moves 6 footings forward. But I just didn't feel it. And I think that's partly because it wasn't in the same location, whereas the third one kind of is in the same location.
And I think there was I can't remember the screenwriter's name, it's going to come to me in a second. The screenwriter name trained in karate in Okinawa.
Right.
And had a sensei in Okinawa. And everyone was like, no, we're going to your point, they wanted to, same cast, go back through the same story again. And he pushed to go out to Okinawa. Obviously, end up being Hawaii, from what I can understand. And and he went back and sort of revisited. So I think there's a little bit of nostalgia there for him, and not everyone agreed it was the right.
Yeah, I just
the
never
second
really engaged.
Karate Kid 2 is more Miyagi's story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Daniel's still there, getting on everyone's
Tagging
tits.
along, starting fights.
Yeah.
It was a good job Daniel's been saving his money up and had the money for the plane ticket. Otherwise, it would have just been a new story, wouldn't it? Miyagi going on his own.
He used all his graduation money.
Yep.
To go to Okinawa.
We got a new baddie. Chosen's a new baddie.
That's Chosen.
I looked him up his IMDb. He's been in Inception, Pearl Harbor, and he was the Japanese family in the Truman Show.
Oh, is it Yuji Okamoto?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well said.
Because he also had a brown belt in karate when they.
Did he? Right.
Yeah, one of the very few that actually.
It was a good baddie, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, I read today that when he went in for audition, he was so tall.
Yeah.
He was like worried that he was going to overpower Daniel.
Right. Okay.
So he went in slouching, and the director put it. Was like, "Why are you slouching for?" I didn't want to. They're like, "No, we want you to be this tall." Considering they're exactly the same age.
Yeah, it was intimidating, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it looks like a kid fighting an adult.
Yes.
So he was in Cobra. He was in Cobra Kai too.
Yeah,
he came back into
Cobra
it.
Kai.
Yeah,
looks totally different.
As a good guy.
Yuki was Mr. Miyagi's love interest, and she was his wife in Happy Days.
Saw that today.
Yeah.
Which
I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I never saw. I want to go back actually, because everyone just says his stand-ups and his comedic stuff is very good.
Right, I've
never watched it.
No, me neither. Right, shall we go through the film then?
Let's do it.
Shall we go to Okinawa?
Yeah, we can move. Yeah.
Although it doesn't start in Okinawa, does it? So we'll go to, where do we go to?
Reseda.
That's it. We'll go there. So
We'll go back to Reseda and carry on from the last podcast.
Yes, let's go. Right, okay.
Yeah,
So
for the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, I'll go out again.
Yeah.
Right, let's go through Karate Kid 2 then.
Yeah.
Okay, the panpipes at the start. That's how I remember this one.
Yeah.
Nice little panpipes. Then we get the recap.
Big recap.
Unnecessary shower scene. Mr. Miyagi's just outside the boys' showers.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's not looking in. He's got his back turned
He is
the whole
looking the other
time.
way. Yeah.
Just listening.
But I just
Yeah. So this recap, once we get to the shower bit and when he comes out in the car park scene, this was filmed 2 years later. So you can tell Daniel's put a little bit more weight on, and you can tell it wasn't directly after the first one. Those two extras at the start, a little bit more dialogue than we needed when they were talking to him, I always thought. And then the famous car window scene.
Yeah.
He goes to punch him, doesn't he? And
Martin Cove.
just moves out of the way.
Yeah.
Miyagi just moves out of the way.
Yeah.
But what I wonder, between the end of the tournament and going outside the building where Chris got his hair cut and died. I mean, where did he get that done?
Foyer.
Was it?
Yeah. They have hairdressers just in the foyer. Yeah.
I mean,
it's well known in Reseda.
Yeah, just change his clothes as well.
Just lost the final. Oh, fuck it, I need to go and get some new highlights done.
Yeah. I've just lost. Treat myself to a haircut.
Then we get the...
Well, I don't know, it seems longer.
Yeah.
Longer.
Seems longer and had his highlights
Extensions.
done.
A longer cut.
Yeah.
6 months later. So this was December. The
stress he was pulling his hair out and made it longer.
Yeah.
The tournament was December the 19th, wasn't it? So
yeah,
we go.
I remember that that was in the quiz.
That's it. It was, isn't it? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, 10 days after my birthday.
Yeah.
Then we get the 6 months later, which looks like prom. Is it prom? Because he turns up in his prom suit, doesn't he?
Yeah, pulled up in the classic car from
Yeah.
the first one that I think Miyagi gave him as a birthday present.
Don't you think his blue suit reminds you from a suit from another film?
I thought
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. That's it. Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, it's the big collars, but everyone, even those two guys that come out at the scene at the beginning, like, I just noticed how big their collars were.
Ali's crashed the car.
Typical.
Yep. And she's also left him as well, hasn't she? For someone at UCLA.
Yeah, he mentioned some footballer or that she's fallen in love with. So he's.
We could have just said they could have just said they split up.
Yeah.
I don't know why this reason was.
Trying to put the blame on her.
Yeah, she probably said, "Oh, I just want to be friends as well." That'll check.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, can we just be friends now?
Yeah, they always say that.
You've had that happen to you as well.
3 times.
Yeah,
my wife last night.
That was it.
Every night.
Every night. She's still there when you get home, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Best friend.
Daniel's going to be moving away because his mum's got a job.
Chicago, I think. Is it Chicago?
Yeah. But only for the summer, though. So it's not too bad, but he's a bit pissed off, isn't he? And straight away, Miyagi's trying to get him to do a bit of work. Same as the first film, isn't it? He's got a job to do, so he ropes old Daniel in. But he's not having any of it.
No.
And he made him a nice little medal box for his medals. And there's a nice line that Miyagi says is, this say you brave, and he points to his heart. Mm-hmm. This say you lucky, and he points to the medals.
Okay, nice.
So it's nice little,
that's cool.
Words of wisdom. He has lots of words of wisdom, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then, so the postman arrives. Mm-hmm. Again, way too much dialogue for the postman. He comes in.
They are like that, though, to be fair. Mine's like that.
He's like, oh, my wife will love it here. I'll have to bring her around one time.
Yeah, our postman's never said that, thank God.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit awkward.
Yeah. They just trip on toys if you come around my house.
They just ignore him.
Yeah.
But there's a letter from Okinawa.
There is.
Poor old Mr. Miyagi's dad.
Yeah.
He's on his last legs, isn't he? So this is why he goes to Okinawa. Mm-hmm. We get the passport scene. Again, don't know why we needed that, queuing up for the passport, but...
I think if you didn't include some of these scenes, the film would have been under an hour and a half.
Yeah, I guess.
And after it would have been recapped.
I was going to say, you got 8 minutes of that. It'd been more. The episode of EastEnders would be longer.
There is a lot of filling in this.
Yes.
Loads of filling.
Maybe it's just a sort of plot.
Yeah.
To say a bit of the plot, maybe. And Miyagi's going to fly over to Okinawa.
Yep.
And Daniel turns up on the morning of the flight to say he's coming as well, doesn't he?
He's had enough of Chicago. I think there's a very small scene where he's in the hotel room in Chicago.
Right.
And he's just not happy about being there with his mum. He's like, no, I'm off.
Right, okay.
Okinawa, man.
Yeah, he's going there.
Yeah.
He's going to hang about with a guy he's only met for what?
Yeah, he's built on Maroon.
Yeah. He's been
in his shower room.
That's it, yeah. Yeah. See-through walls.
Yeah.
They get on the plane and they go to Okinawa. Miyagi's trying to get some kip, but this reminds me of Star Wars Return of the Jedi when Luke's asking loads of questions to Yoda. Mm-hmm. And Yoda's just like, oh, just leave me alone and let me die. And he just keeps talking to him.
There's a parent meme of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you have children, you realise why Yoda just rolls over and dies from the questions.
So many questions, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. And Daniel says, if you fought Sato... Now, Sato is... We forgot to say this, didn't we? He was going to marry Yuki. And they were friends, from what I can understand. I might get this wrong. So Miyagi loved Yuki as well. Yep.
And he wouldn't honour the arranged marriage.
That's it.
So this sort of paints the picture for the fallout that they have.
A little bit confusing, wasn't it? But then
Sato was his friend, and he was trained by Miyagi's dad.
Yeah, that's
at the same time.
There's another line on the plane when he says, Daniel says, if you fought Sato, would your father referee? And he says, no referee. He says, how do you know who wins? The one who dead doesn't.
If you fought Sato, you think your father would have been referee?
No referee.
How do you know who wins?
The one who dead doesn't.
So
it's one of my favourite lines in the whole movie.
So he's basically fight to kill,
Yeah.
Did you think he ran away because he didn't want to fight him because he knew he'd have him? He'd end up killing his... Miyagi's the best fighter, isn't he?
He's the master.
Yeah. So I reckon he knew if he fought Sato, he'd kill him. That's why he didn't want to fight him.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever do that piece in the middle. I'd
Yeah.
love to see that as like a backstory of
Yeah.
how he ended up in Reseda as
Yeah.
as a
that's good idea.
handyman.
That could be a film, couldn't
There
it?
you go.
And then it ends.
We could make that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Miyagi passed away like 2005. wasn't
CGI.
it?
Yeah, we can get someone else
ChatGPT
in.
or something.
Well, we get a younger version, don't we? We get a 15-year-old Miyagi.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they thought of that. That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
well, yeah.
And it finishes when Daniel arrives at his
with
apartment.
copyright, yeah.
Yeah, knocks on the door and then that's how it ends.
That's how it ends, yeah.
We are onto something
Karate
here.
Kid 1.5.
Yeah. Well, Karate Kid half because it'd be before.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Karate Kid 0.5.
Yeah, exactly. We are onto something. Right, they arrive in Okinawa. Another good line. They see the picture of Sato at the airport, don't they? And Daniel says, "Can you break a log like that?" And Miyagi says, "Don't know. Never been attacked by a tree," which I thought was good. And then they get in a limo. They have a car waiting for them, which they didn't realise.
And this is where we meet.
Chosen. He starts off. You think he's a nice guy, but anyone who shakes a hand like that, you know they've got a problem with you, and it's a really hard handshake.
Yeah, but I thought Daniel was being a big girl's blouse, wasn't he? Because he shakes. He's nice to Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
But then he kind of squeezes Daniel's hand, and like Daniel, like, is he fucking milking it? I mean, he's like, and even when he gets in the limo after, or the taxi wherever is afterwards, he's like, still like, my hand. I'm like, man up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you shook hands with Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? I can
No,
imagine.
he's a big old boy, old Chosen. A little fun fact here: the music in the limo. You know, first of all, one guy puts a loud music on, then someone else turns it to more of a classical song.
Puts on Talk Sport.
It was Fascination Waltz, and that was in the country club in Karate Kid 1.
When he meets Ali.
Yeah. So they little tie in there to the
Nice.
first one. They get to the village. Did you notice his village? Everyone's either really old or kids.
Yeah.
Okay, Kamiko's probably about, I don't know, 20 or something.
Yeah.
No one's 30 or 40 or 50 in that village. They're all really old.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I just watching it. I don't know why I thought that. Daniel meets Kamiko.
Yeah. She's very pretty.
Yeah, with a messy bun. She loves a messy bun, doesn't she?
I like a messy bun.
Miyagi's dad obviously is close to death.
He's got to be getting on a bit though, isn't he?
Yeah, because
if Miyagi's 60...
I reckon he's about 61. Well, we said 61, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to be 80s, isn't he?
Yeah, late 80s.
Yeah. A lovely line from his dad, though. If I am dreaming, let me never awake. If I'm awake, let me never sleep. Because he's
and he forces Sato and...
Yeah, his son's come back, isn't he? Yeah, which is nice. We get a little look at Miyagi's dojo with 400 years of ancestors along the wall.
Yep.
Do you know the rules? The rules of his dojo are 2 rules.
Yep.
Rule number 1.
Karate for defense only.
Correct. Rule number 2.
Make sure you know rule number 1.
Yeah. So basically,
Like
one rule, isn't it?
That sounds like a quiz question.
Rule number 3. Just remember rule number 1.
I had it written down.
Did you?
I
I didn't even notice that bit.
Rule number 4. Just remember rule number 1. And it
yeah.
goes on and on.
Yeah. You do find out the other rules later on.
Yeah. They go for a little walk and they spot a guy playing the guitar, and he says, "Oh, he was there 45 years ago playing the same song." Ichiro.
It's a long old song, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a long song. Like, is he really going to be in the same place doing the same song?
Yeah, don't you remember? Not slightly different in Swindon. There was outside Primark. There was that old man doing the tap dancing. I mean, he passed away, and it was in the news. I mean, he was there whenever you used to go to Swindon. It was a bit like Bruce Forsyth. You know, he just looked like that. He was there for donkey's years.
Yeah.
Not for quite 40, but you know, he was always there doing the same thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, he could have been there for 40 odd years doing the same song.
I tried to avoid Swindon, I must admit, but I'm with you on that one. Yep. Another quote which makes you think, and they said that 15,000 Americans died in this area in 10 days, and then he says 150,000 Japanese. Why it was so stupid?
Yeah, it was. I did went and looked at this. It was a huge staging area for the Vietnam War because it was so easy to access the US forces there. So there was, as it mentioned, there hundreds of thousands of people.
Weirdly, I was on the phone to my mum last night, and she said my granddad, his ship, I think it was called the HMS Termagant. There's 3 or 4 of them named that, and his last journey back was from Okinawa back home in the Second World War.
Nice.
Yeah. And I thought, what a coincidence. She told me this last night.
Yeah.
No idea I was doing this film. I thought, I'll mention that.
Okinawa.
Yeah. Sato turns up. He's always angry, isn't he?
Yeah. Got a lot going on. Saturday.
Yeah, he has.
Businesses to run,
Yes.
but stops to go to the little village.
He's always in his suit. Well, I want to fight now. Not now.
Yeah. Just get it over and done with.
But as he turns up, I think Yuki comes out and says, "Your dad wants you."
That's it. Yeah.
And this is him just about to pass away. But he grabs both of their hands, as you said.
Yeah.
As if to say, "We don't need to fight,"
Yeah.
Because Sato was Miyagi's dad's student, wasn't he?
Yeah. Who is Mr. Miyagi's best friend?
Yes. And then he dies, and then Sato's like, "Oh, literally 5 seconds after his dad dies, I'll give you 3 days to mourn, then I'm going to kill you."
Out of respect for my teacher, I give you 3 days to mourn. When finished, I come back. You prepare to join him.
You go join him.
Yeah. I know,
Which is quite an aggressive statement to make just after your dad's passed.
Exactly, literally seconds after, wasn't it? And we get the funeral, obviously, with the lanterns. A bit of a sad scene when Miyagi sat on the beach looking out, and Daniel says, "Look, at least you was there at the end for them."
Yeah.
All they went in for 45 years.
Yeah, but you turned up now. Just check he's got any inheritance money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we come for, isn't it?
Who's getting the house?
Someone's got to pay for that extension back in...
yeah, Reseda.
That's the one. We learn about the drum technique.
We do.
Not quite as good as the crane kick.
Which is apparently, again, the screenwriter.
That's it, yeah. Yes.
You
got it.
might have more.
No, I bought a drum, there you go. Wayne's in it. Look at that. Best £4.50 I've ever spent that.
Lots of heritage.
Yeah,
Is that from
good.
Amazon?
Yes.
Is it going back on Monday?
Yes. Yeah, give my £4.50 back. Yeah, so the drum technique is like...
No, we don't publish this on Amazon
No, we don't.
podcasts.
It's a block, isn't it? Drum technique.
Yeah, they said it's sort of like being able to attack and block.
Yes.
Using your body, your whole body as the force.
Yeah.
Don't know.
So he practices this with a giant sphere on a fisherman thing, isn't it?
Which seems a great idea.
I know. How careless is that?
This massive hook that's going to take your head off.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a go. Will you watch this?
Yeah, watch this. He's just showing off Miyagi, isn't he?
Yeah.
Watch what I can do. And then Daniel has a go, rips his shirt. No, he falls in the water, doesn't he? Then it rips his shirt.
Then rips his shirt.
So that's the drum technique. So remember that. That's important part of the film.
Okay.
Comes up at the end.
Yeah.
Right then, I know you want to talk about this scene. The vegetables. Right, so I'll start off. Ichiro again. That's the guitar man who carries the...
Yep.
He drops his carrots, so Daniel goes to help. And Chosen is obviously working... He's buying the vegetables, is that right?
Yeah, so I think there's... You get this influence that Sato kind of owns the village.
Yeah, he owns everything, doesn't he?
And he owns us at the fishing rights and the village rights.
Yes.
Because that comes in later. And yeah, so there's that scene where goes, helps the guy, drops over his carriage, walks him down there. And yeah, you get this whole controversial beat, which only took me 40 years to realise.
Yeah. I think I was exactly the same. Weirdly, I learned this.
Question.
Yeah.
So he goes up, and the guy goes to get his carrots weighed, and I'm guessing Chosen saying, right, well, however many carrots you bring in, we'll give you X amount of
money. And we do it by the weight.
Do it by the weight. So there's the scene where Daniel's putting it on the weighing scales, I think the carrots fall off the scales.
That's it. Yeah.
And he goes up, picks up the weight, and breaks it in half.
Like paper mache weight.
Like paper mache, and then you think about it, and you go, well, actually, if you're Chosen, and you're buying vegetables, you're actually, by putting a fake weight on it, you're making it more expensive for yourself to buy it.
Yeah, so the vegetables are heavier. So
he's paying more for the
Yeah.
So is Chosen the hero of this film? He's looking out for the villagers.
Yeah. So maybe got it all wrong.
Yeah.
Like in Karate Kid 1.
He's chosen the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So Daniel overcomes this, finds this third. I could talk about this all day. The weight scene, vegetable scene, but I won't.
So he's helping him out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that when I was younger. You don't think of those things when you're younger, do you?
No, you don't.
You're just waiting for the fight.
Yeah.
You want to see a fight.
Going to kick off down that alley.
You want to see a fight between them all. I'm gutted there was never a fight between Miyagi and Sato because I reckon that would have been pretty awesome, but obviously it never happens. Miyagi and Yuki go for this little walk.
Yeah.
Romantic. Yeah, she asks him to sing. Bit weird. Imagine being on a date like that and someone's with you, Wayne. Like, Wayne, sing us a song, would you?
I don't know what I'd sing.
Exactly. What would you sing?
Oh, that's a good question.
What would you sing to woo a woman, Paul? Wayne?
Oh, I've had the time of my life.
And then do the lift.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'd love that. They would love that.
And yours, Wayne? Come on, you're not going to get out of that easy.
No. I'm trying to think what I would sing. So if a girl come up to me...
Yeah, this is on the spot now, is it?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go well, you could always go, back in time. Dun, dun, dun. So I just had to get my Back to the Future bit in there.
I'm trying to think. I'll come back to me.
Yeah.
I will make sure you get it by the end. I'll have a
I'm
think
trying to
about
think
what
as well.
my romancing song will be.
Anyway, he sings a song, and this is the same song that he sings in Karate Kid 1 when he's drunk.
Yes.
You remember Drunk Miyagi? I love
Well, I
Drunk
couldn't
Miyagi.
really understand what he was saying because he was pissed.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, Pat Moretti was drunk a lot.
Was he?
Well, he used to have a drink problem, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he was an alcoholic, I think.
One of these ones a bit like Robin Williams, where cloaked a lot of his...
Right.
With humour, because he was a comedian, stand-up comedian. They found out, and a lot of people have said that's what led to his passing, is that he turned up on, particularly in Karate Kid 2, hungover most mornings.
Okay.
And, the sadness that is alcohol, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Mr. Miyagi, he liked the old pop then. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's the same song that he sings in the first one. Another little sort of throwback to the first one. Daniel and Kamiko go for like a little walk, and they try and do a little bit of a dance.
A lot of dancing, actually.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's
isn't
now
it?
a dance move.
Yes. But guess who turns up?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Chosen, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just turns up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he did die of kidney failure.
Did he?
Yeah. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi, 24th of November 2005, he died of kidney failure. Strangely enough, it looks the same day as his partner died.
This is the actor, because Miyagi died in 2011.
Pat Moretti. Yeah.
Pat Moretti. Yeah, his wife died the same day.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
The scene when Chosen turns up on the dance, and they have a bit of a scrap, don't they? Mm-hmm. She throws something at him, at Chosen, and he weirdly sort of takes his shirt off, throws it back, and says, "Keep for your collection. I know you like it." Oh, does she collect shirts? I didn't quite get out of it. Yeah, here's your collection. Okay.
Maybe it's a vision of his being topless.
It could be, couldn't it? Yeah, collection of
Put it in his.
You're right. Miyagi and Yuki are starting to fall in love, so they have a tea ceremony.
As you do.
Yep. Tea foreplay, I call it.
Yeah. Yorkshire tea.
But Yorkshire tea. It goes on forever, doesn't it? It's like, I'll be gasping. I'll be just like...
It's so... A little side story. I went when me and my wife did our honeymoon. We went to Mauritius.
Nice.
And we had like a spa day, as you do, and we paid for a tea ceremony.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea what it was.
Right.
And it was very random. Them bringing in like a floating cup of tea.
So did you have to do it? Did they tell you what to do? Or?
Yeah. So you're in a hot tub.
Yeah.
So you're in the spa. All good stories start at the beginning in a hot tub, and they brought out a tray of some sort of random. I don't know what it was supposed to be.
Right.
I just like tea, so I ordered the tea ceremony, and it come out with some sort of show.
Did they watch you, or did they?
Yeah, they're all stood round. I'm not sure.
no.
Yeah.
That gets a bit weird.
Bit of a problem. I can't stand tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't no Yorkshire tea either.
No.
I'm not sure what it was.
There's lots of things.
There he is, topless.
Yeah, there you get his top off there. We've got the film on behind us. Daniel and Kamiko, they go sightseeing. And this is when we get the first time we hear "Glory of Love." What a song this is! Cracking 80s rock ballad.
So I don't want to ruin what might come out. I heard it was written for someone else.
Correct.
Rocky 4.
Correct. Yes.
It's going to be the closing credits for Rocky 4.
Yeah. Well, I read it was Sly rejected it for Hearts on Fire. Now I thought Hearts on Fire was when he was driving the car, wasn't it? But
yeah.
But it sounds more like a closing credits song, like it is in this one. Yeah. I know, what a song that is though.
Yeah, it's a great. I listened to it on the way here because I only heard the song in the movie. I was like, right, I'm going to listen to the score.
I've been playing it loads recently. Yeah,
it is a great song.
Sato, we see Sato's dojo, which is a little bit like Cobra Kai, I thought.
Yeah, that sort of outside.
Yeah, when Daniel and Kamiko
wouldn't work in Didcot.
No. Okay, the famous scene then. I think one of the most famous scenes in the film is the ice breaking scene. A young Lucy Liu was in this scene, apparently.
Was she?
Yeah, she was one of the younger people that was watching it. It makes me laugh because he goes in there and Daniel's he's been a bit cocky and he's like, you don't do it like that. It's all in the hip, strong here, not here.
I got 40. Nice standard. Come on, baby. See, I told you. You gotta use your hip. Strong. No, you gotta be strong here, not here. It doesn't make a difference. What? You think you can do better, Big Mouth? Huh? You think we can do better? Huh? Drop some. I don't know.
Well, let us find out, huh?
Maybe some other time.
He's
all right,
always
Daniel.
starting something.
Yeah.
Like they're quite happily, like he's with his missus, they're walking through town hand in hand. See that really rough bar over there?
Yeah.
Where everyone's over there, looks like trouble.
We'll go there.
Do you want to pop in there?
Yeah.
Should we go in there and have a I just want to see what it's about.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's going to start shenanigans.
Yeah, he's a nightmare, isn't he? Just the way he's going, it's all in the hip. You need to be strong here. And the dude's like, all right, mate, do you want to have a go then? Which I don't blame him for saying that.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
Yeah, if I'm trying, I've only broke 3 out of 6.
Got a lot of talk, you mate, coming
Yeah,
this month.
exactly, yeah. And then everyone turns up. Chosen turns up. Miyagi turns up. Sato
Not
turns
busy
up.
in Okinawa that day.
No,
Middle of the day.
exactly.
We're all should we pop down the pub, watch the
Yeah,
ice breaking?
yeah. He comes in and Miyagi says that he can do 6, isn't he? They're trying to do 3 or trying, and he says, "Oh yeah, you can break 6." And he bets $600 that he's going to do it.
Which is shit. Well, back then.
So I think I've looked this up correctly. I've researched this. $600 is about 450 quid.
Yeah.
So in today's money, it's about £1,800. So he's put 1,000.
Just short of $2,000.
Yeah,
Which he's got in cash.
yeah, just on him.
As one does.
They do that praying just before. It seems to go on forever. Just after that, you get the again a weird scene where he drops the rag on the floor and he shows him that you can punch in the balls if you do it. Remember that bit, which I thought was interesting.
Instigating again.
Yeah, and I thought, what's this for? And then of course 2 minutes later, Daniel does it on what's his name? Chosen, doesn't he? Chosen smashes the place up, doesn't he, where Miyagi lives, and then also Sato turns up, and they smash up Miyagi's little house and garden. Bit mean of him. Miyagi turns up and saves Daniel though. This is when Miyagi realizes it's time to go home. He needs to pack to go home next day. And Miyagi says goodbye to Yuki. She's like, take me with you.
Again, I haven't seen her for 40 years.
He's
I
off
love
again.
you.
Why didn't he take her with him?
Yeah.
Wait, why didn't he take her?
Yeah. Comes and visits her, takes her out on a date,
Yeah.
romances her again, and then decides he's going to piss off
I'm going
back
to go
to
again.
the US again.
Yeah. The bulldozers turn up and they are going to trash the village unless Miyagi fights old Sato at midnight. Why at midnight? They're like 65-year-old men.
Yeah.
They're never up at midnight.
Yeah.
65. I'm not up at midnight.
Early bird, like 4 p.m.
Yeah, they're bed at 7 and then up and then up early. Like 6 in the morning would have made more sense.
I couldn't fight at midnight.
No.
I'd have just said yeah and then not rocked up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and then just
I
got. Although
haven't cared about the village for 40 years.
Yeah.
So why worry about it now?
all of a sudden he's worried about it, isn't he? Yeah. But he says if you don't fight, he'll sell the land and everyone will be homeless. So he's got to turn up. Daniel and Kamiko have a tea foreplay.
Another tea party.
This bit was weird though. They're drinking their tea and then it's a bit windy, and as soon as that light, the candle blows out, it's like we're in trouble. We must get out of here. There's going to be a hurricane or something.
Oh no! Oh, what's wrong? Quickly! There's danger. We must go. Well, I don't understand. Big storm. Be here soon. Let's save here.
Just because
Typhoon warning.
typhoon. Just because that candle went out.
It seems like, of genuine, I don't know enough about the demographic, and sorry, not demographic, the topographic, but it just seems that the season's like massive over there in Okinawa. I looked it up.
Right.
Like the season's like 9 months of the year, like the storm season. So it's like, not necessarily the best place to stay.
No.
And then build a house out of paper.
But say that, yeah. That's not going to last.
Unless it's cheap. Unless it's like, just rebuild it again.
Yeah, we just rebuild every year.
Cardboard City.
Every 9 months.
Paper mache.
Yeah.
So the storm comes. Who put the 9-year-old girl in charge of ringing the bell at the highest point? Like, I felt sorry for her. It was like a town meeting that day, right? Okay, who's in charge of letting everyone know the storm's here? Little Yuri?
What about the one that can hardly climb the ladder?
Yeah, so this little 9-year-old, you go to the top.
When you're scared.
Yeah.
And the whole rest of the town is hidden away, being safe.
Yeah.
But you climb to the top of this tower.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
And keep going till everyone's safe.
Yeah.
And just
then
stay up
come
there.
down then.
Yeah.
But we'll all be in the pillbox.
Yeah, that's it.
So you just have to let yourself in.
Yeah, just come down. You'll be fine. What are you, 9? Yeah, 9 years old. That's
good.
perfect.
Eight's the cut off.
Yeah. We talk about look after their kids. The storm does happen, and Miyagi and Daniel notice a building collapses with Sato in it, isn't it?
Oh no!
Hey, Sato's in there!
Yeah, big baby. I'll go find Sato.
Let's go! Hey!
Now, if he's got all this money, why is he living in some little hut?
I think he's getting prepared for the fight.
Oh, right, okay.
I think he's gone to his home, back home.
He's sort of
And
like
he's having another, maybe
his
probably
beach
another
house.
cup of tea.
Right.
He's getting in the zone.
Of course, because it was night time, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were getting ready for the fight at midnight. And I reckon this is probably like
Yeah.
in the evening.
Chosen doesn't help. He just says he's dead. But Miyagi and Daniel go and save Sato. He chops that wood.
It's a cracking... Have you seen the size of that wood?
That was... He wouldn't... Yeah. Because earlier on, Sato's been practicing on this wood for like 40 years, isn't he? It's the same bit of wood they picked up when they were kids. But Miyagi does it in one shot.
What if Miyagi rocked up, saw him chopping the wood, is like, I could do that, but
Yeah.
keep that to my... You've been working on it for 40 years. Last thing you want is me to come up.
Yeah, one
and
go.
do it in one hit and
Yeah.
ruin your piece of wood.
Daniel and Miyagi help Sato. But then he notices the young bell ringer. Sato says to Chosen go and help him, doesn't he, as well? And
Yeah, I
he
think
just-
he's sort of got over this conflict at some
Yeah.
point now because he just saved him.
Yes.
So come on now, we're mates now. Let's.
Yeah.
But he's got his own rivalry with Daniel.
And he goes and... well, Daniel goes, but Chosen doesn't. And there's that dude at the back just like staring at him, looking him up and down.
There's
And, like,
loads of people
they're like-
there. Loads of people know. Like,
no one else helping.
I'm not going to say I'm super brave, but it wasn't that bad yet that I wouldn't have gone out and,
I thought
and
that.
helped.
Yeah.
And like, I just stood at this, just even if I gave moral support at the bottom
Yeah.
of the ladder. You got this.
They just held the ladder. Foot of the ladder. Yeah, it wasn't like Twister, was it? The film Twister, when like, you know, it was just a bit of a windy day, I thought.
Little breeze.
Yeah, I'd have gone and helped out. The next day though, Sato turns up at the village and helps rebuild it.
Good guy. Good
Yeah.
back to good guy.
He's realised, you know,
I've been a bit of an arse.
yeah, I don't need to hold a grudge anymore. There's more important things. She wants the dance to be in the castle, which he owns. Did he own the castle?
Daniel pushes luck again, doesn't he? Don't worry,
Yeah.
we just keep asking for stuff.
Yeah. Then we get to the dance, which I guess is that evening. And they're all dancing, all having a good time. Everyone's happy. She does her dance on her own. She does this sort of little dance.
Yeah.
And in the real cool scene, though, you just see Chosen.
It's a zip line.
Yeah, coming flying
No,
in.
it's not a zip line though, isn't it? The lantern.
It's the
holding-
lanterns, yeah.
Which doesn't. I don't feel it would hold the
I
grey
don't-
man's weight.
No, definitely not.
Behind you!
Get back! Get back or I kill her! Till then, don't do this.
I thought it was Data coming in, Goonies.
Yeah, because when you look at that, it's like you have to really look. See, oh, who's that coming in the background?
Yeah.
Because they're all thinking this is part of the show.
Yeah. And he comes down, breaking all the lanterns on the way.
Grabs her like at knife point or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, has he got? Oh, do you know what? I can't remember if he's got something.
Yeah, he has something up against his throat or something, doesn't he? Anyway, he wants to fight Daniel.
Not surprising.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah.
Daniel, they have a scrap. This is fight to death now, though.
Things have changed.
Yeah. He tries to do the crane kick, but Chosen's obviously seen Karate Kid 1.
Yeah.
He's got
Just
it on,
watched it last night.
He's got it on VHS.
Don't worry about anything else. Just got to dodge that one kick.
Exactly, yeah.
It was a fake kick anyway.
Yeah,
The first one.
illegal
kick to the head.
He blocks the crane kick, and then everyone has one of these,
including Sato.
Yeah,
everyone gets involved.
Which means do the drum technique.
Yeah. No one's gone. Let's stop it. They're like, well, I've come here for let someone die today.
Yeah, and then we're just watching them. Yeah, you thought some of them would come over. And
I
say,
might have gone. Do you know what? Why don't you just have another tea ceremony?
Yeah.
We'll sort this out.
Of course, the monkey drum then means the drum technique, and all of a sudden, Daniel sort of.
It's that body swivel, isn't it?
Sort of
which
like,
seems pointless because I already just put my eyes on.
Exactly, yeah.
Done.
He's just like taking it, and he's just swiveling from left to right. Goes to finish him off, but obviously does the live or die, and Chosen says die.
Yeah.
On the nose.
Classic honk.
Classic honk. So it ends in a sort of comedy sort of way.
Live or die, man. Die. Wrong.
First when he looks at Miyagi sort of like smiling,
yeah,
as if to say well done.
Yeah.
That's Karate Kid 2.
And he left another girl.
Yeah.
Romance another one and then
Yeah.
just leave her in Okinawa.
That's it, yeah.
He does settle down finally because in Cobra Kai he's married with children. So
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
pretty as well.
and he has another
Yeah.
love interest in Karate Kid 3.
Well, he goes back to Okinawa and tries to pick this one up
Yeah,
again.
yeah. He's a boy, isn't he?
You lad.
There's no Scott, obviously,
Yep.
today. He's on, as we say, on holiday. Wayne. Was there a Karate Kid 2 game?
So, there was a couple.
Right.
So, first of all, there was an Amiga and Atari ST version that come out sort of 1986, I think it was.
Okay, cool.
Didn't get very good reviews. It just seemed like a sort of standard. I think they just took something like Shinobi and just put the Karate Kid
Right.
on the top of it. But then I did see, which I only found out, that NES bought a game out a year later.
Okay.
And that was called Karate Kid, but it covered off Karate Kid 1 and 2.
Right.
So you did the whole piece, and that got really good reviews. Like, I
Okay.
read a couple of places.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's just that same old sort of karate scrolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched a few. I never had it.
Yeah, I never had it.
And I know they brought some later ones out. But yeah, from what I could see, it was just the two
Nice,
games, with the
okay.
NES one being quite popular, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
saw-
they never learned because they brought out Cobra Kai
Something Rising, is it?
game. Yeah, the Karate Kid saga continues on the PlayStation 4.
Which is so... I really wanted a good...
Yeah.
I've got Xbox and I really wanted a good Karate Kid game, even when Cobra Kai, but I don't think they've managed to pull it off.
Not many amazing karate games, I suppose, is there?
No.
Well, there's another one. Is the Karate Kid Street Rumble.
Okay.
So they're certainly milking it.
Yeah. Lots of games.
And they probably just sold because it had Karate Kid in the title.
Yeah,
Everyone went
exactly.
out and bought it. Same like the Top Gun games.
Yep. Okay, we've got some memories. You two can read those out.
Me go first. So the first one is our friend of the show, Michael Thomas Perrone from the United States.
Yep.
I don't know why I took my glasses off. I saw this in the theatre as a kid and was blown away. The audience was cheering like we were at a boxing match at the end.
Cool. Wayne, you got one?
Yeah, I have. So this is from Super 80s podcast friend from the USA. Great movie. Ice-breaking scene is my favourite. Peter Cetera's song is pure gold,
Yeah.
which you all agreed on.
Great song.
And D. Smith from York. The honk on the nose was a bit silly, I guess. Still a classic 80s film. Looking forward to your episode on it.
Thank you very much.
And then I've got one more. Terry from Cornwall. This was my favourite Karate Kid out of the 3 main films. I know I must go for one, but I loved the Miyagi story.
Okay, yeah. Miyagi story was 2, wasn't it? Yeah. Thanks for those, guys. Right, do you want to do a quiz?
Not really.
No, even I, yeah.
No quiz this week. Right, quiz time.
Quiz time!
Quiz time, let's do it.
Right, quiz time then. I've got 11 questions for you.
Oh, okay.
So when we did guess the character earlier, you both got it on the last one, so you're level anyway. So we'll start from 0-0. Okay. I'm going to try and do Mr. Miyagi saying "I" is yes,
Okay.
and he's going to say wrong if you get it wrong.
Nice.
But I got this on my phone, which is
Okay.
harder than I thought actually, so I might give up that halfway through.
We'll see how we get on.
Question 1. Miyagi was building a guest room for Daniel, but who did he say it was for? Wayne.
Did he just use the term friend?
No. It's you're on the right lines. Yeah, he didn't say a name. Oh, hold on, I should have done. That's for yes. Hold on, and it's for no.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Now we know.
Okay, so that was
Wrong.
right. Okay. It was Paul. Do you have a guess?
No.
He's dropped something on the floor. What he dropped?
The answer.
You're not going to then smash me in the balls, are you? And you come back up? No. Okay, it was refugee.
Okay.
Question 2, tricky one. The passport office was
God.
open 10 till 4, but what 2 days was it closed? It said close on 2 days.
I think this might be a guess.
Paul?
Saturday and Sunday.
Wayne?
Tuesday and Friday.
Okay, I'm going to give up on this.
We got 2 more guesses.
I'll give up on that. It was Sunday and Monday.
Oh,
Sure. So how many points are we going to give for that?
get half a point.
No, if you're going to give
What,
2
2 days?
points for that one, I should get 1 because I said
1
Sunday.
point. Yeah.
No, I didn't say 2 points. I said what?
No, but we're saying it should be 2 points.
Wow.
2 answers.
No,
Two
no,
to-
no,
Come
nil,
on,
nil,
it's
nil.
my only chance to get a point.
Question 3. At the start of the film, Miyagi gets a taxi to the airport. What time was the taxi due? Miyagi says, be here for something PM.
When I booked you.
No.
I don't know.
I'm going to just go 2 p.m.
6 p.m.
When you do these quizzes, Wayne, you have to... It's not a very pleasant experience. You have to put yourself in Rob's brain and think like Rob.
Right.
Or should I do a culture, an appropriate joke like 2:30?
Yeah.
Right. This one of you will get.
Oh, God.
Can you name the village Miyagi was from? Wayne.
Tommy Village.
Tommy Village, correct.
I wouldn't have got that. I was going to say Okinawa.
1-0. Question 5. What was the name of the dance Kamiko does? It was called something. Paul?
Rain dance.
No. I didn't want that because I've had a typhoon. That's the last thing they want. Paul?
Hokey cokey.
It wasn't the Hokey Cokey. Wayne?
I want to say something deaf dance, but I don't think I'm right.
No, it was
Bone dance.
It was the Obon.
Oh, wouldn't have guessed that.
Question 6. What year did Miyagi say his teacher taught him fishing? He said, he taught me just here on the pier.
He was born in the 20s.
1934.
No.
I'm going to go early then. I'm going to go 1937.
1927.
That wasn't earlier, that was later.
Oh,
So-
yeah, sorry, yeah.
So I worked this out.
Hold on, how old would he have
It'd
been?
been 2 because he was born in
Did I have to
25.
fish at 2?
So he went fishing at 2,
No, I
yeah.
ain't having that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was a bit weird.
My kid would have just jumped in the water.
Yeah, mine still aren't interested in fishing.
Yeah.
Right, question 7. What business did Miyagi's father go into after the fishing business dried up? He said he went into the something business.
I'm trying to think what would be going on in Okinawa at that time.
Have a think.
It's not going to be IT or anything.
No. Paul.
Rice.
Good guess, but wrong.
Shock.
Building.
Wrong. It's the vegetable business
Oh, I should have guessed that.
because they're doing the carrots, aren't they?
Massive business, that.
Yeah, especially when they're making it even worse for themselves.
Yeah.
Question 8. The castle at Tommy Village was the castle of King who? She said this is the castle of... He was called the Peace King. No. Paul?
The Lion King.
It's like, you know. No, it was Shahashi. Question 9. Still 1-0 to Wayne.
Great.
No, I got a point, didn't
Yeah,
I, for saying Sunday?
No, you had to get it right. So, what, 2 days? Question 9. What odds does Chosen give for the ice breaking, Wayne?
3-1.
3-1. So if he's put $600 on...
$2,000.
Yeah.
$6,000.
Yeah, he's
You
won
get
loads,
that.
isn't he?
And he's got cash.
That is a lot, isn't it? 2-0 Wayne. 2 questions to go. Daniel and Kamiko dance at the American bar to what song? What song were they dancing along to? They went to this American bar.
Is it...
He was showing his moves, wasn't
Elvis? No, it's not.
he? Title of a song.
I won't worry too much, Wayne. I'm not going to buzz in.
It was something 50s because I remember
Yes.
seeing pictures of Elvis on the wall.
Yeah, it was.
It's like a 50s night.
Yeah, it
Can't
was.
remember.
It was rock Around the Clock.
Can you dance like this?
I can try.
1, 2, 3, 4. Got
I
it?
think so.
If the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till the club lit up.
So close.
That was 31 years prior to where they're at now. So that's like us dancing to like Real McCoy Another Night or
I don't know if I've ever
Regulate.
got up and just danced. I haven't gone to a dancing night.
No. Patty Banton, that was 31 years ago.
Yeah.
Final question then, finish the line.
Oh.
Best way to avoid a punch? Paul?
Duck.
Nope. Have you watched this film, Paul?
Don't be there.
Yeah, no be there, yeah,
No be
correct.
there.
Yeah. Wayne wins.
Cheers.
2-0. Well done.
Thank you.
You must be impressed with your performance there, Wayne.
No, absolutely not.
You
I've
don't
kinda
look
got
like
one
you're
more.
under any pressure whatsoever.
I know. I hate the quiz bits.
Well done. Well done. Good
So
effort.
come October, we'll be doing Back to the Future Part 3, and that's the quiz I normally win.
Well,
Nice.
you lost 2 though.
Piss off.
Okay, right. Don't forget we're on Instagram, Facebook, and give us a 5-star review where you listen to your podcasts. We've got any shout-outs? Come on.
I better shout out my children.
Yes,
really.
go on.
Say hello to Ruby and Annabelle. Annabelle won't care.
No.
She's a bit like the Karate Kid. She likes to get around starting fights and stuff.
Which is the one that owns the shop that I see on Facebook now and then. She has a shop.
Annabelle,
That's
yeah. It's
Annabelle.
only open 1 hour
Well, she's
a week.
busy working in the shop,
Yeah,
isn't she?
it's only open 1 hour a week,
Yeah.
and you don't know what you're paying for, and you have no idea on price.
Yeah, well, does she do the vegetables with a fake weight?
Well, yes, she might do now. She might be able. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll check.
Just make sure that you don't want to be ripped off or anything, do you? So, although you're not going to be. Poor, none?
Nah.
No? Okay, I've got one. Alan Larman, who is the manager of Kingston Bagpusse Old Men's Football. And also, he is the... he's been listening to us recently. Also, look up the Abingdon Wookie. So he does he's got a massive Chewbacca suit, and he does things for charity, and you can book him. The Abingdon Wookie.
Is he dressed as a Wookiee?
Yeah, I'll show you the picture after. Yeah, he's got a
My brother would love that.
really good suit. Yeah, Abingdon Wookie. Google it. He's on TikTok and
I love
Facebook and Instagram. Clifton, who I was chatting to this week, he works where I work in the mornings. He's hopefully going to listen to us. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the fathers tomorrow, the dads for Father's Day.
I forgot about that.
Happy Father's Day tomorrow.
What if I get a lay-in?
For all the
Doubt
cool, all the
Doubt
cool
it,
dads.
no.
No, I doubt it.
If anything, they'd come in earlier because they'd be excited to see you on Father's Day.
Give me a real rubbish breakfast and.
You just
and
want to
and
bitch
another
in full English. Oh,
Thanks, Wayne, also for joining us.
Pleasure,
for
as
this
always.
one. You mentioned a while back if we ever do the Abyss, you want to join us on that one?
Yeah, Abyss.
Because you do a bit of diving, don't you?
Love my diving, yeah. So, yeah, I went back and watched that. I hadn't seen it for such a long time, but Abyss is a great one. And if I get invited back to Karate Kid 3 at some point, whether that fits in the remit or not, I'm not sure.
Well, we'll do the Abyss. We'll put the Abyss on the list.
Yep.
The Abyss list. As you're into diving, you can give us some
insight.
on that. Have you seen any aliens when you've been doing any diving?
Only the other people I dive with.
Okay.
did you see the Titanic when you're down?
No, that's why I'm excited about watching the Titan sub.
Yeah.
Like the depth and stuff like that.
Scary. Okay, so we'll have you back for the Abyss. That'd be cool.
Perfect.
We'll put it on the list, as we say. Join us next time. We're either doing Decade Breach Superman, 1978, I think it was, wasn't it?
Wow, is it really that old?
I think it was 78, 79. Or we're going to be doing Cocktail with your friend of mine, Chris Rolls.
That'll be a good one.
We've got to see who's available. So either Superman or Cocktail or Supercock. We could do Supercock.
I love Cocktails. One of those films I watched rewound because when I first watched it was on videotape. Rewound it, watched it again. I've seen it so many times.
Have you seen Supercock though?
No.
No. Okay. I'll show you some videos later on that.
Please don't.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
We are go back to where is it? Reseda now.
Reseda. Yeah.
We're on the plane and go back to Reseda.
Yeah,
So
find another girl, break her heart, and then move somewhere else.
That's it. Yeah. Bloody Daniel.
So I was thinking of starting a car business.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Keep it retro.